All right. Well, I know that you kind of see everything from a different level or different perspective. I've mentioned that a couple times in the audit space. And you talked about agile being a hot topic and one that you see a lot of people clicking on and reading about. Is there something else that you're seeing from your end that's a hot topic that we haven't talked about?
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to put my finger on one, and it's directly related to agile and some of the things we've been talking about, and it's really just about change management. And I think that's something that internal auditors have struggled with over time. And some are better at it than others. But what I kind of think plays into it is that internal audit is a very project oriented. The processes they have in place, they're very project oriented. They tend to schedule most of their time out to do the work that they're supposed to do, and a lot of them are overworked. Their departments aren't getting, their budgets aren't really, they're being added to by very much. The tools are getting better, but it's very difficult for them to put the work they have in front of them aside and think about how they can do their job better, how they can do it more efficiently, how they can do it faster. Because when they do that, it gets backed up. It's like, wow, we have all this stuff on our audit plan to get through. We don't really have the luxury of like taking 2 weeks to sit around and think about, what are the things that we can institute that would make this, even though that's going to pay off in the long term. And I think that's been the mentality for a while. It's just like, I don't know how to take a break from what I'm working on, to have people really, people used to say this about data analytics, like they wanted to could create some data analytics experts on the department, in the shop and on the team. But that takes time. People have to kind of play with it first and get used to it and take some data sets and see what it can do, or go to training and go through that. And it's pretty difficult to take that time out to get there. So I think change management is something that's been a struggle. And I think we just got to the point where it's like, we can't not do it. So we have to find a way. We have to, put the time aside to do things like agile and to do things that are going to be different, to explore some of these technologies that, once they start putting them in place, the continuous monitoring stuff, the kind of automated auditing, really frees them up to do higher level work, to do, more analysis, and providing, some more, not just doing the audits, but also providing almost like some consulting work that internal audit's doing more and more of.
And I think the saying that might apply there is that you hear amongst, entrepreneurs and such is you work on the business, not in the business. So I think that's another way of saying it. You work on the department.
I like that expression.
Yeah. You don't work in the department. You take some time to work on exactly what you're talking about and making the department better through using technology or whatever it is, rather than always executing on an audit and bringing it out a level and focusing on the department.